Hi, and we are now live. Hi, I'm Kara858, and today we're bringing you episode 8 of Lords of Faerun. So here, as always, we love to give a shout out to everyone who's been very supportive of the stream. All of the follows, the retweets, the likes have truly made a major difference for us. As stated, when Lords of Faerun first started, we were slowly growing ever since, to be honest, and we've almost doubled our follower count in terms of viewership and such. So once again, we are very happy that you all are interested in joining us on our unique and crazy endeavors. And so with that said, we'd like to go ahead and start with our sponsors. We are proud to say that Lords of Faerun is officially sponsored by Die Hard Dice. So Die Hard Dice is an incredible company that produces gorgeous dice and dice associated items such as dice scrolls, dice trays, dice bags, and more. Recently, Die Hard Dice has collaborated with the Opera Geek to create the beautiful Avalor Aria dice. They are also recently released their prior product, which includes the gorgeous Horizon Dire D20. Head on over to Die Hard Dice and use the promo code Faerun, which is Faerun, to get a discount off your purchase. Time to level up your dice. So thank you, of course, Die Hard Dice. Lords of Faerun is now partnered with Idle Champions. Idle Champions is one of the biggest D&D games around, and you can be able to use ! Code in chat to be able to get a free Electrum chest. This chest provides free premium content to help accelerate your progress in the game. So like I said, you can use this code, and we always have a new code every week to help you be able to progress. So with that said, go ahead and enjoy one of the biggest D&D games around. And if you like our show and would like to support us, Lords of Faerun has a Patreon. All the funds sent to our Patreon goes directly to the cast. And the Patreon offers exclusive content like after shows, podcasts, Patreon exclusive Discord channels, and even bonus episodes. Once we reach a certain goal, we will shoot our next bonus episodes. More so, the next bonus episodes will be determined by our Patreon members. A poll will be determined by ideas of pairings and circumstances, and the winner of that poll will be our next bonus episode. I can't wait to see what our Patreon members choose, and this is just a huge way of saying thank you for supporting us. Your contributions helps us as content creators. If you're not able to contribute financially, but would still like to support us, liking, retweeting, and getting the word out does so much. Like people say it's all about the algorithm. Mm-hmm. It truly is. Like it makes a major difference. So we always appreciate that. And we completely are thankful for what you've done for the channel. And with that said, it's time to introduce our cast. Starting first with our DM, Elisa. Elisa, would you like to talk about yourself, your projects, and what you're up to?
Yeah. Hey, I'm Elisa Pearl. I'm DMing this adventure. And actually, I want to announce, I have a lot of ongoing games right now, but I want to announce 2 upcoming things. First of all, I'm going to be playing in a Mage the Ascension campaign in September. That is on the Bear Pen, which is Adrian Aries' channel. Ree is also playing in it, and I'm super excited to start that adventure. It's sounding like it's going to be really, really dope. I'm also really excited to play my character. And then also in September, Ripley Improv is bringing back Heartbeats. I guess this is an unofficial announcement about that. We haven't really publicly announced it, but I think it's okay to say that we're bringing it back this fall. I mean, whatever. I'm just going to put it out there. And if you haven't been watching Ripley Improv before, we are in a narrative improv group comprised of 13 women, diverse women, and we create narrative improv shows. We do streaming. We've started to dip our toe into TTRPGs. We do a lot of stuff. And so follow us over on Twitch. I have been streaming Witcher 3 for the past few weeks, and then I'm going out of town so I'm going to take a few weeks off from that. But when I get back, I will be streaming Witcher 3 on Tuesdays. And so, yeah, there's a lot of Ripley Improv content. Go to our Twitch, go to our YouTube, because you can watch a lot of also our backlog of content from when the world had stages that were open. And, you know, before COVID, we did a lot of stuff too. So, yeah, follow me at Elisa Pearl on Twitter and Instagram as well.
Wow. It always feels good when you have a lot of projects on your belt. And, well, the Gax Pack too, right? Is it the Gax Pack coming in for tomorrow? Yeah. So I'll be like,
is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I can announce that I'm guesting on the season 5 of Vampire the Masquerade. So lots of
oh my God. Congrats. Oh,
Thank
wow.
you.
I cannot wait to see you there. Sorry, I hope my microphone kind of cut off the little high screen. Sorry. Well, I was so excited. I cannot wait to see you on it.
Yeah, I love that show. And Jason is such an incredible GM who I learned a lot of stuff from because when I was learning to GM, he was one of the people who I got to play with. So yeah, check that out. That's going to be also in September. So yeah, September announcements. There we go.
Fantastic. Next, going on making our way down, we have the fantastic, wonderful, and I always say every positive word under the sun. Diana, would you like to talk about yourself and your projects you're working on?
Hi, yeah, I would. I'm Diana. I'm Super Dylan everywhere on the internet. You can keep up to date on all of my stuff by either following me on Twitter at SuperDylan or going to superdylan.com, and you will see updates there. You can even sign up to be on a mailing list if you want to find out about things first and foremost. Right now, this game is right now, I think a lot of my streamed games have come to a close besides this one for now. But you should keep your eyes peeled because a game of Cortex Prime set in the Amory Wars universe, written by Claudio Sanchez for Coheed and Cambria's narrative universe, is gonna be announced soon, and I'm so excited to share with you who I have playing with me for that. And it's gonna be freaking great. So just keep your eyes open for that.
Ooh, I cannot wait. Making our way down, we have the fantastic Ree. Ree, you'd like to talk about yourself and your project?
I am at Big Degree on the socials, and I am playing the lovely Ardris on Rivenwood Academy, which you should definitely check out. It's a wonderful magical school D&D game, and there is something coming up soon that I can't tell you about just yet, but it's going to be super exciting, and I can't wait to share it with you all.
Yes. NDAs and all that. Not really, but of course, making our way next down, we have the wonderful Glyza. Glyza, you'd like to talk about yourself and what you're working on?
Hey, I am Glyza from Classical Adventures for One, which is a podcast that I host and produce all on my own. I'm a one-woman show in that thing. Basically, it's a podcast where I explore classical books dramatically and also give a lot of trivia. It's an educational resource for teenagers and possibly teachers that want to explore more classical books in a different way. So that's Classical Adventures for One. But I'm also on a lot of TTRPG games, mostly on Kira's channel and Adrian's channel as well. So you can check me out. I play Michaela, a vampire with a secret. I play Cynthia, a normal person without a secret. And I play Helena here, an elf with a secret. So it's basically, does she have a secret or does she not have a secret? For me, is my theme apparently on all the games that I play. You can see all of these links under bio.link/Classical Glyza, and I am on all the socials under Classical Glyza, except I say all, but I'm only on Twitter. So just find me there.
That works. All right. Making our way down, we have the wonderful Adrian B, also known as Aries. Would like to talk about yourself and your projects that you're working on?
Sure thing. As Kira says, I'm Aries or Adrian, whichever you prefer, and I am here on Lords of Faerun every Saturday, which is so dope, and I'm really happy about that. I'm so excited to play today again. And of course, I am on the Bear Pen, so that's pen with an H at the end, because I used to live in Phnom Penh City, Cambodia. So Bear Pen, the Bear Pen. And we have a whole bunch of shows starting soon. It's just really, really wonderful. We have our second show in our trilogy of New Orleans related World of Darkness content, which is our Dark of the Bayou meta universe, which is what we're calling it. But the second show is Rights of the Bayou, which is our Maids the Ascension show, which will be starting on August 10th. And then, of course, we have the mini-series, The Haunting of Mallory Mergot, which is featuring Eliza and Ree and myself, and a story told by Zach, who you can find actually here on Kira's channel on Ravenwood Academy, and also on our channel playing Kenny Hartsmith. So that is going to be fantastic. And also in September, we have our Werewolf the Apocalypse show starting, Rage Across the Bayou, which is going to be so very, very fun. So if you guys would like to delve into an extended and expanded MCU style World of Darkness universe, the Bear Pen is the place to come for that. We also have our final episode of season 1 of Blood on the Bayou happening on the 8th, August 8th. This weekend, we are doing a rerun of episode 12, just in case you guys missed it. And also, we have some wonderful character epilogues, which are going to come up, and they are going to be Patreon early access for our patrons. And the first one actually we're filming this weekend actually is going to be Kira's one for his character Sora, and I'm really looking forward to it because of what I've got planned. I think, Kira, you're gonna really love the episode. It's going to be so very, very nice. And actually Ree himself has agreed to be in one of the epilogues too, so I'm very happy about that. And we also have May is going to be in one of the epilogues too, which is pretty great. So looking forward to all of those. So if you want early access to that, hop on down to the Patreon. Other than that, I'm so excited to play today. So excited.
All right. And as for yours truly, I'm Kira858. Of course, we're here for Lords of Faerun. We also have our Riverwood Academy that comes in on Tuesdays. We have a project that should be coming in September, which has some a few individuals here in this section as a cast, as well as some individuals you may have seen on the internet. So I am super excited to be able to announce that in the near future. And we may have a few special guests coming in for next week's Lords of Faerun, which like I said, I'm just going to leave that out there, that little nugget. If you'd like to find out soon, you could just follow my Twitter or Kira619858. And maybe this Monday or Tuesday, we'll be able to announce who's coming down the line for next Saturday. Only thing I'm saying is I am super excited, and I'm just holding in all of the inner fanboyism right now.
Maybe can we share it on the Patreon early?
Oh, yes. If you sign up to our Patreon, we can be able to announce a bit early who this special individual is. Like I said, I think you all will enjoy it. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and bring in our intro video for episode 8 of Lords of Faerun. All right.
Literally. Avis, Jesse, Helena, Ice, Elliot, Eliza as DM. Lords of Faerun.
All right, and we should now be back. So with that said, Eliza, take it away.
Well, you all spent the night camped out under the stars by the riverbank in the upper northwest corner of the Vasa Valley. You had a very eventful day yesterday where you infiltrated the Hellfan Dragon Clan's glacier nest. You found and secured an item for the storm giant Ymra. You also freed Eris, who is a frozen storm giant who had been basically taken as a trophy by the Hellfan clan centuries ago during a battle between the dragons and the storm giants. And you were able to not only free him from that glacier trophy case he was in, but also revive him, bring him back to life. You all camped out on the side of this riverbank, and just about 20 to 30 miles away from you, you can see the site of where all that took place. And it is different. The landscape has changed. The glacier that once stood out and jutted out prominently is now replaced by a hole that at the bottom of it is the icy glacial water that's underneath the glacier itself. You've basically opened up a glacier lake on the side of the Great Glacier. And as you look out across that, you think about how close you all came to near doom, facing off against a clan of 14-ish white dragons, half of whom you all actually, or the actions that resulted from the events of what happened in the glacier resulted in the deaths of about 14 to 16 white dragons of that clan. And having to face off against the survivors and also tell them who you are and who was with you, the white dragons that were their former nemesis, was a very harrowing experience. But you all got through it, and you were able to come to some type of accord with them and find some level of respect that they could have for you. So you passed the night without event. You all took a long rest. And you wake up the next morning, your campfire has dwindled to pretty much nothing because of the harsh cold, unless you want to say that someone stayed up to tend to the fire. Would anyone?
Jesse might have been up on occasion to tend to the fire because he was restless.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Jesse, you did spend the night tending to the fire, making sure it didn't go out in this intense, harshly cold area. The rest of you wake up and you see Jesse, the fire is tended to, you see the sun rising to the east over the mountain valley, the east side of the Gallon Mountains. And you wake up to a fresh new day.
The trail kind of like shifts to the side as he starts to stir, looking up at the sunlight. He kind of like looks around himself first, sitting up, and then the first thing he hears is, and then as he hears that, he just looks down at his stomach, knowing exactly what time it is, and then gets up and starts to look for some food.
And Elliot just kind of wakes up and is like, don't go too far. Please don't wander off.
I think Jesse's probably quite used to our boy waking up real hungry, so he probably would have asked Jackson to try and go and catch like an elk or something earlier. So I would imagine if Jesse was up anyway, maybe he would have started some breakfast.
Helena did not spend the night next to the group as elf. She does not sleep, so she is probably somewhere, else. But she does come back as soon as she hears people moving around. She comes back with Treebush and says hello. I'm like, oh, did you guys sleep well? I don't sleep.
I have a question for you, and this is just a bit of a meta question. Helena, so, to the party, to the world, Helena doesn't sleep, and you went off to do something. But were you actually sleeping when you were gone?
Helena was actually sleeping. Just so you're aware, she was actually asleep. But to the party and to the world, she did not sleep.
Okay, good to know, because if you didn't actually sleep, then I would have had to make you roll some Constitution later to see how well you do.
Helena hella sleeps.
Okay. All right. And Avis.
This is he'd be awake at the moment, but he would still be lounging, most likely on Ayuki's back if she would let him, and just recovering from his injuries, enjoying the early morning sun.
Okay. Shireen gets up from her slumber, stretches. Oh, goodness. Oh, I slept so good. I haven't had that much excitement in a long time. It really knocked me out.
Excitement. Yes. Definitely excitement is what I would call it.
That's one, wouldn't it?
So just to rewind, was there actually food around, or was there no food available? Because if there was food around, he would be able to respond to the conversation. But if there was no food, he would be out and about to drive a spear and do some type of deer. So I wasn't sure.
There's probably food. Yeah, Jackson bought food.
An elk,
Okay.
And JC would have been preparing that.
Okay, so wait, is the food being prepared or is it already finished?
JC did not lie. Like JC was up the whole, basically the whole night and doing watch and doing everything. So the food is already prepared.
Okay, so in that
As
case,
elves do, you know.
But he's not an elf. But I mean, like, so in that case, he would be in mid bite, just like, first he would say, "Thank you," and then he like scoops it up, and of course, use a little tiny spoon that he has to try to balance it inside his mouth to make sure he doesn't break it. And then when they make those statements, he says, "Could have been worse. They could have tried to kill us."
Well, I think they did try and kill us for a moment there, but it was thankfully not to happen that day, mostly due to you there, big fella. And I don't know if anyone's told you yet, but thank you.
He pauses, turns to the side, and then looks down. Because that's the first time he's really been thanked for the diplomacy. And so he kind of like looks to the side. He says, "Oh, you're welcome."
And I know this might not make a whole lot of sense to you, but it's one of those things where I gotta be honest, Latria, that was a difficult spot that we were put in, that I was put in when you decided not to come with us and flee. I didn't know what to do. It's different out here. We're not on the ship. We don't have a structure or a series of commands. We are a family. We don't have the hierarchy. So if half of my family is going one way and the other part is stuck in one section, what do I do if everyone doesn't know what to do or when to do it? That was hard for me. I gotta be honest, that was really hard for me. Do I go with those folks who I need to keep safe, or do I stay with you who, well, I don't need to keep safe, but we're a family. And so that was hard for me. And I did not know what to do there. And I hope you do not think less of me for going with the group at the time that I did.
Latrell, he takes a deep breath, trying to fully grasp his mindset, because it's drastically different from his own, being someone who's solo and constantly had to take care of himself and survive out in the forest. Is unique to hear that outlook. And so when he hears that, he kind of looks at the others and then return his eyes back to you and say, "No, you're perfect. I want to keep the group safe. I take. You can see, like, again, he's trying to find the right words in common because common is not his primary language. And so it sounds like a bit cavemanish per se. And so, but
if only Jesse knew how to speak Draconic. If only.
One day, hopefully. But until that day comes. So he pauses, he says, I can take a lot. I am used to bearing the weight of others on my back. So thank you. And I will keep trying to make you a place to the group. You are safe.
Okay. That's good to know. I'm gonna try and do some reorganizing in my head. If you know what to do, then I can just sort of put you under that category of, okay, he has his position on the ship and he's not somebody I need to take care of in that respect. So that's okay. I can do that. At the same time, what you did there was amazing. And also, I know you say you can take the load of everyone, but you don't need to. You don't need to. So that's what a crew is for. That's what family is for.
But mother says I must protect. Like in Forest, I'm protector. So what do, but he pauses because now he's conflicted because he's hearing two different messages from something he was raised under versus a completely different outlook. And so he just pauses. I don't think he can say anything after that because now he's just like in internal thought.
I think your idea of protection is a good one, but there are different places and different faces that we get to see every day and interact with and do all kinds of things. And out here, sure, this place is, well, as close to wilderness as you'd get, really, I imagine. It's stark, it's cold, it in many ways closer to a forest. But sometimes, like if we find ourselves in a city, for example, that idea of protection has got to change just a little bit. And I think you did that anyway by staying behind. And you didn't fight them. You spoke to them. And that's growth. If you know what I mean. So I think your ideas of protection are evolving anyway. And it's going to be situation specific, if you know what I mean.
He nods. He says, I think so. Hard, common, but I think so.
Either way, and Jesse's going to give him a big ol' hug and say, thank you for keeping us alive.
He smiles. It kind of like big old paws. He's like grabs on the side of his arms. He says, "You're welcome. In anytime, all of." And then he kind of points to every single person in the group. Looks at Shireen for a second, but then notices that he doesn't really do that. But then he definitely keeps a very long stare at Elliot, knowing that he'll die for Elliot. So he's just. And then he returns back up to Jesse with a smile.
Elliot tried not to eavesdrop on this, but we're all just kind of sitting around a campfire. So Elliot did hear most of that exchange, nodding along. And when Latreia looks over, he just kind of gives a same, ditto.
Mm-hmm. Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Glyza, the player, feels very, oh, this is so sweet. Helena, the character, is like, oh, this is awkward. She's smiling very awkwardly at Latreia, is basically her face right now because she's uncomfortable with feelings. So that's basically what she does.
I need to draw that.
Did you eat any of the yellow snow, Helena? You're not supposed to do that. That face is lit.
No, that's the first thing I don't do.
Are our dragons with us, or are they still? They're with us.
Yeah, they're around. They have been. Some of them went out to hunt for breakfast this morning. Yeah, they're around. Mm-hmm. Towards the end of that conversation between Latreia and Jesse, Kay, the teenage dwarf, and by teenage, we do mean teenage, but for dwarfs, that's about age 50 because they live very long lives. But your teenage dwarf friend creeps up to the rest of the party and she says, do you want to see something?
Always.
I'm gonna pull a Shireen here and say, are you flirting with us? Or
No, I'm not. And she reaches.
We want to see. What is it?
She reaches into her pocket, deep into her pockets, and pulls out a very large golden coin.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You have the proof that you need.
Exactly. I'm the first person from my village to actually get to the dragon's lair. And I survived. And I'm alive.
I'm so happy for you. Helena is super happy that she managed to steal this coin because rogues. I can't believe I did it. And I mean, yeah, it had help, but I mean, I still did it. I was there. You don't have to tell people that. You're fine. You're the who's gonna snitch on you? You're the only one here with a coin. Take full advantage of it.
Exactly. Yeah. From my perspective, you were ducking and diving. You got behind some ledges. You never even got touched by that dragon's breath. Who's gonna disagree? I mean, no, they weren't there. They ran.
Exactly.
Latreia looks to Elliot and then he says, "Wait, but she was frozen."
Oh, yeah. We unfroze her because we didn't want that was incidental. We did not want that to happen.
But so this would be in most likely Draconic.
Yeah.
But they said she wasn't frozen. But she was frozen. Why would we say that she stopped frozen if she was frozen?
Well, she was, and now she isn't.
You know how when winners of fights tell stories and they make themselves look good? That's what Kay is doing. She is writing the story and no one is going to go against it because they weren't there. And she's going to write that story.
Yeah.
That's what that means. You know, author's liberties or whatever.
You remember that time that when we were kids and you tripped over those shoes that were a little bit too small and they didn't fit you quite right and you kind of tripped and stumbled and you got that big bruise on your head, but we agreed that we would both tell all the other kids that you actually like won a fight against a gnoll. And then you sounded like real cool. And not like you just tripped over your feet. Like it's just, you know, sometimes you got to do that just to feel good.
We're going to make Kay feel cool and look cool, basically.
Yeah.
Oh. So it's about presentation?
Precisely.
Exactly.
Bingo.
Yeah, don't think of it as lying, more of as, you know, exaggerating. Storytelling. Sort of thing.
I think I have a -1 to deception. No, I got a +1 to deception, so I think he'll get it. So he's like, okay. All right. Well, I guess I will leave that to you because I'm not good with that stuff.
Jesse's gonna say to Kay, you know, if you want to make it like more, even more believable, and this is not something you have to do, but like maybe one of us could like just ever so gently, like, I don't know, like cut your face just a little bit so it looks like you have a scar or something.
Yeah. I need some evidence that like I actually battled with dragons.
And you can borrow one of our dragons to like bring back and be like, look, this is a dragon that I met there. Which isn't a lie, it's the truth. They don't have to know that they weren't the enemy dragons, right? Right.
Who's got a real steady hand? Because I mean, I do, but Helen, I think your hands are better than mine. You want to just a little, like a little nick or something,
like a little scar thing on the left side.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a dagger here. I'm gonna lightly do it so that you don't, so it doesn't hurt that much. I'm just gonna do it. No rolls or anything, right?
If you're just doing a very light little thing.
It's just like for people who are obviously like who has the medical skill, they can tell this was just a careful thing. But like, that's what she does. So she makes a little nick, it bleeds a little, and it obviously looks fresh, that kind of thing. Are you okay? Does it hurt?
It hurts a little, but it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's the thing about face wounds. They bleed a lot, but more than you think they would. It's strange, but it's gonna look cool. It's gonna look real cool.
Yeah. I'm so excited. Would you all like to come with me when I go back to my village?
I would love to come with you to go to your village.
Okay. Can I say that I like rescued you from the dragons?
No.
It's
a little unbelievable.
That would involve a little bit too much lying.
I don't know if they would believe that.
Okay.
Considering how we look. Maybe we can say you helped us a lot.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's go with that one.
I would probably say that you were, integral to our success, and the coin is proof of that. That's something that we can say, right?
Okay, right? But I had to have gotten there on my own, though.
Oh yeah.
So okay,
wait,
for sure.
As long as we say we were equals in, yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Latrell looks to Elliot to say, wait, where is her friends? I was busy, so I didn't get the chance to see. The friends, are they okay?
Well, I believe they just left. They're not. We didn't see that anything happened to them out of character. Sorry, right?
Yeah, they just left. They ran away.
Left. We didn't. Okay,
they left before shit went down. Basically,
got it.
After that first ice breath through the small tunnel, they left.
Yeah. Well,
they're like, no.
There was quite a bit of danger happening, as you know, and as we saw, it did quite a bit of damage right off the bat. So many of them did leave and run to safety. So where they are specifically, I don't know, but we could find them.
So they're safe. Would they know what happened? Would they try to say something about Kay's story?
Well, considering all of them left and Kay stayed behind, I think that Kay could pretty much say whatever she wants about what happened. They don't know.
They probably think I'm dead.
Probably. We could, if you wanted to have a lot of fun, we could tell them that you did die, and then you could
just show up and be like, "No, I'm alive."
It's very fun.
Okay. I love this plan. Here's what we do. And Kay just gets up and starts pacing, and she has the gold coin in her hand. She's like flipping it up and down excitedly. Okay, so you all go ahead. I'll like, we'll like go to my village, but then when we're like a little bit a ways from it, you will go ahead of me and you'll be like, hey, just so you know, we met your that team of young people from the village, and we wanted to come back and tell you Kay didn't make it. Sad. Cry a little bit. If you could cry. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll cry for you too.
Okay.
No. As we left, we looked back and we saw a big ancient white dragon.
Yes.
Breathing down. She said to us, "Go. You need to get out."
Exactly. You're gonna be the one that will keep, us. We're running away, basically.
Yeah. So you tell this story, and everyone's gonna be sad and crying and stuff, and then I'm going to appear, and I show the gold coin, and everyone's gonna be so excited because I'm the first person from our village to do what I did.
Yeah.
And for those of you wondering, this is how you get the folk hero background when you start level 1.
Exactly. And they might even make her a mayor, and I'm totally up for it.
The
mayor of Icetown or something. I don't know.
It's called Rosha. But yeah.
All right. I think we deserve a little bit of fun. I think that we should do this.
Definitely.
It's going to be great. Now, we do need to see Sumi first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I could come, if you don't mind, I could come with you to that place, and then we can go to my town after.
Yeah,
yes.
You can ride on one of our dragons, and we can work our scripts together and how we're gonna react. It's gonna be fun.
Kay comes up to Treebush and says, and looks at Treebush, and not even talking to Treebush, but kind of just at the dragon. I've never ridden on a dragon before. I actually had never seen dragons before yesterday.
Oh, Treebush is usually very nice. He'll let you ride, right, Treebush?
And Treebush, who has been listening and kind of giggling along with the story, says, yeah, it's fine.
Cool.
And Kay says, wow, this is just, I feel like my whole life is going to change. I wonder, because no one else has ever done this. Like, they never said I just realized something. They would always send people out, and, they never told us what would happen if we were successful. Like, I literally have no idea.
What happened to the people that were sent out? They never came back?
Most of them just came back and said they couldn't do it.
Ah. Well, I guess you'll be the first one to win, basically.
Yeah, but I'm just, yeah, for sure. But I'm also just thinking, like, how come we never heard what was the reward? Is there a reward? Do they just never expect us to come back and have it and do it?
I don't know what the answer is, but I was a little bit concerned that they would send you out to do something so dangerous without a real reason. I don't think you should take any less pride in the fact that you did succeed. But while we are there, I would like to find out more. And I think that all of us could help with that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, yeah. I'll come with you to your first place. Where are we going?
We're about to meet a storm giant.
And Eris, who's been nearby, chowing down on some breakfast.
Oh, speaking of storm giants.
Yeah, he's kind of been zoning out, not really listening to the conversation up till now. But when you mentioned storm giants, his ears prick up, and he says, returning to my homeland, no doubt.
Can't wait.
I wonder what awaits.
Well,
I just wonder how Emer's going to react to you.
I wonder that as well. I feel like she will be very surprised that I'm alive after all these centuries. I'm still shocked by it, to be honest.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I kind of look at you. You're kind of built like a mountain there, sir, in all the right ways. So it's not surprising that you were able to stick it out in Glacier all these hundreds of years. So this is a testament to your warrior spirit, I imagine.
Thank you. I suppose so. And he actually lifts up the Faerun dagger, which is a great sword, but in his hands looks dagger size. He looks up at it and says, It's been quite some time since I lit this up with flame and carried it into battle. Perhaps there will be battles in my future once again. But for now, to the task of returning home. He sheaths the dagger. Are you all up for the journey now?
Yes. Latreia, did you eat?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The minute that the conversation started to switch about like stories and stuff like that, Latreia went straight into like claw mode from like Toy Story. So I mean, he's pretty much good, at least for the next 30 minutes. And then as he stands up, he looks over. He says, "Well, I guess it's time."
It is, but I wanted to ask Shireen quickly. Do you have anything extra that we can keep all this in? Because again, don't want to let any part of the animal go to waste, and there's still a whole lot of elk here.
Oh, absolutely. Shireen has lots of different like pouches and satchels and even pockets where you could be, put some things in. And she takes one satchel out and opens it up and holds it out to you. Yeah, fill it up.
All right, thank you. As Jesse's putting like meat and like the hide, they said we're gonna need to cure this because it's still got some.
Yeah.
I did the best job I could. I didn't sleep real well, to be honest. But anyway, something that we like to do back home is when we get an animal like that is it's real nice is you take the kidneys because they got a whole bunch of fat around them and you just barbecue it and you have to put some pepper and salt in that.
Well, I mean, that sounds like maybe a good meal for when we get back to the glacier.
Oh yeah.
And
meat.
Latrell will step forward, kind of like looks towards the ground a bit as he approaches Shireen. Elliot would notice he's that little bit more on that meek side, kind of like appears. And then when he gets up next to her, he kind of looks up. He's like, "Puppies."
Okay.
And he starts to climb up and he climbs up over his shoulder. Again, for those who know that this is one of the few times where you're just like genuine, cheerful happiness on his face as he's like on her shoulder and just like grabbing onto her hair, looking up at the height.
Elliot is shaking his head, but he's so happy. Like he's pretending to be like, oh God, Betraya, but really he's happy.
I would say that's also kind of Shireen's. Shireen is kind of like, oh, this again, but really she loves it and has a similar kind of reaction to the Uppies request.
I'm gonna sort of shake out my long hair and just take a leather cord out and tie it up in the back and pop my spectral wings out there. Which again, for those of you who might be joining us for the first time, they look more like the wings that you would see in the angels in Diablo. So it's all sort of like a glowy blue, sort of energetic kind of wings. And head up to Jackson and just give him a pat on the neck and say, all right, well, I'm going to fly next to you today. No riding. I feel like stretching the old wings a bit.
Jackson puts away a little book that he has he has kind of like a little satchel that he has strung around his torso. And he says, is it time? Is it time to go now? Shall we? And he looks around at the other dragons and they all nod, finish up their meals, and you are all ready to go, sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you all travel, the giants walking, the rest of you, it sounds like everyone's flying in some way, whether by your own flight or on your dragons.
Or shoulders.
Or shoulders, yes. Or the shoulders of your big sister giants.
Mm-hmm.
You're about, let's see. Oh, we have to get back over to, so on the map where the H is, that's about where Ymra's, the bottom of the H, I would say, is where Ymra's cave is. So that is a good, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's about 100 miles travel, which on Dragonback would take a couple of hours, and walking maybe just a little bit longer than that, like 3 hours for the giants with their long strides. So it takes you the whole morning to cut across. You cut across the top of the Vasa Valley, fly back over, or climb back up over the edge of the Great Glacier. Once again, giving one last look to that one part of the glacier that's now changed forever, where there's a glacial lake. Back up on the edge of the Great Glacier, you get past the part that is very windy and strong at the edge and venture into the inner flats of the Great Glacier, cutting across back over into more familiar territory for your two storm giants. And as you approach, indeed, Eros, if you're paying attention to him at all, you would see that his eyes start to light up with recognition, starting to recognize some of the ancient landforms that have persisted. And this being a great glacier, yes, it is ice, but it is mostly ice that stays frozen. And so, yes, there are ice hills and ice mountains that will have not changed that much since his time. And then there are other parts that have changed. And so Eris is taking this in, and Shireen, literally being on her shoulder, you would definitely have a front seat to this conversation. But Shireen is pointing out things that she believes he would recognize, and things that may be new features, like new rivers that have popped up, new boulders that have broken off, and boulder fields that have broken off from the glacier, new settlements that storm giants have made. And eventually you all arrive at the entrance to Ymra's cave.
And this is great for Latrell because this is kind of like a mini history lesson that he never had any experience about. So he's kind of learning about like the environment that he's in and the other storm giants because he really didn't get the chance to really know more about this location and scenery. So I feel like this nice 3 hours will easily be able to give him a nice little history lesson on his heritage and his lineage, just a bit, just a bit. So he's definitely enjoying it as he's listening.
Absolutely. And Shireen picks up on this too. And so she kind of peppers even more history and information into this background knowledge for Latreu's benefit.
Awesome.
That's nice.
That's cool.
So Eris, you all arrive. The dragons you've been here for about 30, 45 minutes. You wait for the 2 storm giants plus Latreu to arrive on foot. And now you all are assembled in front of the cave. As the storm giants step forward, Eris looks at this cave entrance and he says, I've never seen this before. This must be new. I knew this land like the back of my hand, but this I've never seen. And Shireen says that makes sense. This is Ymra's cave and she has had a whole life that you have been asleep for. So Eris says, okay, yes, I'm ready to meet Ymra.
She is definitely very interesting. Very interesting.
She's very tall.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
recall?
probably about as tall as you, but she's real tall.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, if we were to compare the height, I remember that she was taller than Shireen. How tall is she in comparison to Eris?
Let's see. Let me see if I put notes about Eris's height. I think I did establish both of their heights. Boop, 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 boop. Eris is 28 feet.
Oh, so you're about the same height as Shireen then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Shireen is 26 feet. Eris is 28. And then let me see if Ymra's height made it into my notes. Ymra is 30 feet tall.
Yeah, 30. I remember she was in the 30s.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The entrance to Ymra's cave. Now, you all have entered this. You have had successful navigation of getting through her maze. So I'm not going to have you re-roll for all of that. But just, do let me know if you all like to enter the cave with Eris. What is the plan here?
Oh,
Please.
Yeah, I would essentially just remain on top of Shireen's shoulders or whatever, especially at this circumstance, because you recall last time when she took off, he almost got lost, and then he had to try to follow suit because her strides were so long. So he's definitely whatever, like the old My Buddy commercial. Whatever she goes, he goes.
Great. And actually, Shireen is going to step forward now and take the lead with the group and duck into the entrance of the cave. And if you all are you all following along with your dragons and everyone at top? Okay. You all remember this first part of the cavern that is actually, I think it was like windy tunnels maybe at first, and then it opens up into that large cavern that has the maze, like the walls that are made out of all this junk and detritus. You step into this first cavern. You all remember the way, or Shireen does at least, because she's in the lead. She guides everyone through this maze successfully, and Eris just wide-eyed looks around and takes it all in. This time last time Ymra kind of popped out because she heard you all talking and deliberating things, but she didn't pop out this time. And you get through to the end of the maze, go through the one last tunnel, and you find yourself in Ymra's chamber. And it's empty.
Latrell, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Latrell will speak out and Giant says, Yrma, are you here? We have a surprise.
Your voice echoes through the cavern and into some of the other adjoining tunnels, and you hear a voice back and says, "You're back. You're back already."
Yes. And it was a bit interesting, but nevertheless, we have someone you may be very interested in seeing.
Ymra steps out from one of the adjoining tunnels, and you can see that she actually has her hands full with some similar junk and detritus, like old armor and broken helmets and things like that in her hands that she seems to be kind of packing together with some dirt. She comes out looking at her hands as she does this work and then looks up at you all, at the group, and is struck with the sight of Eris.
Happy birthday.
How? What? How? And she drops the thing that's in her hands. Oh, mighty hero, the Ravaras of the great glacier, the glorious one. How did you survive all these years? You should be long gone like my ancestors. You are one of my ancestors. And Eris looks up at the Ymra the antiquary and says, "You remember me?" And Ymra says, "Of course I remember you. You were a hero. I looked up to you. I thought you were wonderful. I thought the world of you." And Eris his face has this warm glow to it and his eyes soften. And he walks up to Ymra and holds out his hands, and they clasp each other's hands. And he says, "You were just a small girl when I left for my final battle. I am warmed that you remembered me." And they just have this warm moment standing together, hands holding, looking at each other, as if looking into the past and the future, looking through a portal of time that neither of them thought they ever would get to see.
I give them a minute to be in that moment. And then I say, "Well, it may not be your final battle anymore."
Hopefully you have a lot more to go.
Eris says, "Perhaps I could keep battling and fighting, but I could also I guess I should find out how things are here, see if I'm needed first before I make retirement plans." Ymra has been listening and just adoringly gazing at Eris. And she's just caught up. She doesn't really have anything else that she's saying at the moment.
I reckon that bringing this handsome fellow back is a lot better than just some old dagger, isn't it?
Ymra, on hearing the dagger, snaps out of her awe for a second and says, "Oh, the dagger. Yes, you brought me back so much more than the dagger." And then Eris actually pulls out the dagger and says, "Oh, this one?" And Ymra says, "Just as I remembered it. Can you do it? Can you do the thing? Do the thing." And Eris lights it up with flame, and the flame just goes from the hilt to the end, just blazes gloriously. Ymra turns into a little girl, and she's just, oh my goodness.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
If anyone is paying attention to Helena, she's visibly sad at this situation, but she's not saying anything.
I have a passive insight of 17, so Jesse might notice that. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
See, all of that in one day. A lot has happened. Did any news? I'm presuming the news did not come forward. But may have transpired before.
No, what? Yimra, now slightly more calm from her giddy excitement, says, I have not heard anything. I mean, it's only been a day. I'm actually very amazed that you came back so soon. And you brought not only the dagger, which belongs to you, Eris. I sent them to send the dagger, but if you're still alive, it's still yours. I honor that. And Eris says, glad to hear it, and sheaths the dagger again. And Ymir says, but no, I hadn't heard anything at all. What happened?
Well, let's just say the Hellfan clan got a special taste of their own medicine and realized a bit of some of their past tribulations coming back to haunt. They're now seeing things in different light, and I believe we may have been able to hopefully establish a peace between the Hellfan clan and our dragon. Hopefully.
Well, it sounds like you managed to put the Hellfans in their place, which no one has been able to do since the days of the great Eris. So, well done, all of you.
It felt good.
I imagine it would. And you, she looks at Jesse, you, Asmar, I owe you something. She turns and goes to her wall of treasures and manages to unearth from this wall the ring that she had. I'm not sure if she showed you before, but she pulls out this ring that is lined with fur. This was to be your reward, Asimar. And she
beautiful
hands it over to you.
Did you want the boots back? I wasn't sure on those type of things because.
No, you hold on to those. I have plenty of things here, as you can see.
Are you sure?
Also, they don't fit me. They're not in my size.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but thank you, Emer. Thank you very much. And I know maybe it wasn't part of the deal, but I was wondering if I could ask you a question just about if you know of, if there's what is to the north of here, because we were thinking that even though the Hellfans have partially agreed to maybe let some of our dragon kin come back, I don't know if we necessarily want to trust them. What is to the north? Are there any more mountains or caves or even old ruins that our kin can maybe settle at?
Well, to the north, directly from us, is the grounds of the Ravar clan, Latreia and Eros and Shireen's people, and mine by proxy. But beyond that, beyond their lands, untamed glacier, I'm sure there are beasts and unheard of things up there. No one goes up there past a point.
The trio kind of looks towards Elliot with like a smirk. Sounds like fun.
I think it does sound like fun, unfortunately. I can't. Yes.
That does sound like an expedition might be entertaining. If you had any idea of maybe where to point us in like a general direction of, okay, I think judging from whatever, maybe there's some more mountains there that might look good. And he will. You still have the map, don't you, Emer?
I have maps, but I believe Shireen's are more up to date than mine.
Would you mind, Shireen?
Yeah, Shireen pulls out her maps again. Yep. She unrolls them.
What do you think might be a good place a good direction to head.
And you're looking for what exactly?
Well,
Yimra asks.
I imagine some kind of mountains or something, or cave system, or maybe even old ruins or anything like that, that our king can find a place to call their own, really. Even an underground cave system, something up there might work for them. They can burrow down. Quite good at that.
Yimra looks at the maps and then thinks for a second. And she says, I do have scouts who keep an eye on things for me. And I actually have someone who might be able to guide you and who knows a little bit about that area. She goes back to the tunnel that she just came out of before. Spencer? And a few moments later, a small creature, a slotty, if you're familiar with that, steps out and says, yes, yes, mistress. And Yimra says, Spencer, I need you to guide some of these fine folk up north. They want adventure. They're looking for, to find the lay of the land, if you will. And Spencer says, yes, of course. Of course, anything you want, mistress. Is anyone familiar with Oslati?
No.
Okay.
Adrian is, but I don't know if Jesse is.
I have to. Okay. I don't know about that in real life, so I was like, I have to Google.
Yeah, I will describe. I might Google it too if I can't find it in my book.
How do you spell it?
It's Slaadi.
Oh, frogs. No. The frog folks.
They're kind of froggy. Oh, yay. Slod.
Yeah, slide. Okay.
Don't know how to unequip something and how to untune something and attune something.
Okay. So.
What's his face? D&D Beyond.
Yes, there are large bipedal frogs with long, sharp claws, wide mouths filled with pointed teeth and huge heads. Embedded in most of their skulls is a gem that is their color. So they're different colors slots. This one is a red slod, but you don't see a gem in their head. If anyone would like to, you can roll to see what you might know about these slod.
I would love to, because I haven't rolled dice yet today.
Oh,
yeah.
What would it be?
All right. I would say it could be nature or arcana.
Or for Avis.
I will do arcana, I guess.
Yeah, that's
all right.
the same for me, which is a 0, but we shall see.
That would be.
I got a 17.
No idea.
For arcana.
Okay, so
15 for nature. Sorry.
All right, so Elliot and Helena, and did anyone else roll successfully on that?
I don't think an 8. Okay, I don't think an 8 would do so, which makes sense. I mean, that was nature. No.
Okay. So
it looks like a frog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. You recognize that it looks like a frog.
Mm-hmm.
So Elliot, with your nature roll, you do recognize that this is the slotty. You know that it's a red one. You know that these creatures, sorry, just give me 1 second. This is something, never mind. I've been saving it basically for when you, maybe would meet them. You know that the different types of slod, red, green, blue, etc., they all vary in terms of like their shapes. They have the same general shape, but they can have different like bone structures from each other. This red slod looks kind of slender. It's kind of smaller than than what you would expect from a Slod. And you both, Helena, with your Arcana check, you both know that the red gem that is supposed to be in the Slod's head is missing. With your Arcana check, Helena, you know that usually a Slod's gem, if it's removed, whoever is the person who removed it controls that Slod. And Ymra says, so this is Spencer, and he says, Spencer, actually. Spencer. And Ymra says, I say, let them pronounce it whatever's easier. It's hard sometimes for human to make the th sound. And Spencer.
Got it.
Spencer says, well, they can at least try. Can you all try to say my name correctly? Spencer.
Of course.
Spencer.
Yeah.
Latreia looks relatively nervous at Elliot, knowing that Common is not his first language, and he's just like, Spitzer. It kind of looks down.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Ymra. Sometimes people cannot say my name. You can say I can't even say that. Spencer. It's hard for me to say it that way. Spencer is much easier. Spencer.
Got it.
Languages are a thing.
Well, it's a very nice name.
Some sounds
Thank you.
can be made by some names. Some sounds cannot.
How are you faring?
Oh, me?
Yes.
I'm fine. Why do you ask?
Oh, they're just being polite,
Out
I
of
guess.
curiosity, I guess.
Latreia.
I'm fine.
Oh, good.
Helena sort of looks at Elliot and goes, but like surreptitiously, so that Spencer doesn't really see it. Just sort of points to her forehead. Just be like, seems, he seems fine.
Yes, you do seem fine. Sorry, didn't mean to offend you. Anyway, nice to meet you. I'm Elliot. This is Latreia. We are just excited to meet you.
Oh, wonderful. Great. So we're going north, are we? Looking for adventure, danger.
Yes. Well, not necessarily danger, but adventure, sure.
Well, all right. And Ymra says to him, they're looking for a place for their dragon friends to maybe settle down. But I told them it can be very dangerous and there will be lots of strange monsters and things up there. But you can handle that, right? Right, Spencer? And Spencer says, anything for you, mistress, anything. I will guide your friends. Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Spencer. It's good to meet you. Now, I did have one more question. And Jesse will pull out the scroll that he got. This seemed like it might be very important, but it got water damaged. I don't know, Ymra, if you have anything you could do to sort of help reverse that.
Ymra takes the scroll and looks at it. Unfortunately, I don't. I'm sorry. Spencer, are you able to read this or fix it up a bit? And Spencer says, I haven't read anything in a long time. I'm sorry. I don't really read things besides signs.
That's okay. Are there... I'm not an arcane person by nature, but I don't know. Are there spells that could do this, that could like fix up the writing, or are there spells that could at least have us learn about the item or learn its history?
Yes, there are. I personally don't know how to cast the spell that could clean this up for you. But I believe there are. Yes, absolutely. As for learning its nature, where did you find this? Tell me, what is this again?
Well, we found this in the same sort of location that we found Eris, to be honest. And I wanted to keep my eyes out after what you'd said about the Hellfans working with those cultists, or perhaps coercing those cultists, getting them to believe things about our dragon kin. So I was, as we were fleeing, keeping my eyes out for documents. I was hoping that I could find something because, there definitely was a heck of a horde there. But I was looking for papers or documents. So I spotted this. I grabbed it. I don't know what it is, but if they kept it, I'm going to bet it was somebody's treasure or of some import.
And did you bring out, this is Aliza asking, did you bring out the tube that it was in?
Yeah.
To show her? Okay. Well, she looks at the tube as well and she said, well, this looks very well made and it's made from very fine goat hide. So I'm wondering if they just had it there because of that. The scroll, though, it was opened, so it got recently damaged.
Yeah.
Did you all tell her what happened exactly, or just kind of in vague terms?
Vague terms.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is freshly damaged. I feel like some type of spellcaster could fix this for you. I unfortunately am not that person. But I wish I could. Let me see.
Betrayal will look towards Shireen and say, wait, could Mother? He starts to try to remember the faint bits about his mother and her usage of magic. And then he said, could Mother do it?
Shireen says she probably could. We should bring this to Mother.
Oh. And he looks over to Jesse and in broken comment says, have idea. Mother, my other mother could do it.
Okay, that's a start.
And what?
Oh, I was gonna ask Imra, if by any chance, out of curiosity, do you have any maybe weapons that I can borrow, use, that's more magically destructo inclined?
Latreo would nod and says, same. I was hoping. And he kind of points to the red dagger that Ares has, and says he has a blade of giant heritage. And he kind of grabs his amulet, says, I have this to remind me of my mother, but if you would have a blade that possessed giant heritage as well, I would be very grateful.
Gimra says, with all due respect to you all for these wonderful questions, look around. Everything I have here, if it's not on this wall, it's not of value. And I don't really have really big weapons or anything on this wall, as you can see. But, and that's also why I was so interested in the Great Dagger and finding it, because I want to always add to my collection, because it gives me power when someone comes and wants me to do something for them. I can barter with them in some way. So, and I'm okay. I'm not upset that I won't get the dagger. It's much better to have a folk hero restored to life. But that said, I do not have what you ask for, young giant. And you, elf.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I am.
Well, Hmm. Hmm. And she ponders and considers and paces a little bit.
While she does that, Helena also says, or maybe you can point me to a general direction of where I can get some magic weapon destructo thing. Both are very much acceptable to me.
Well, here's the thing. You all came back within a day with a restored folk hero. I gave you the Ring of Warmth to the Asimar, and that was the contract. That was the deal. If you'd like to make another contract, another deal, then perhaps I could provide you with some type of magical weapon.
What kind of contract are you looking for?
Well, let's see. My dear Spencer here doesn't usually have a group of heroes to accompany him on his scouts to the north. So perhaps if you venture north and find something of value to me, something that I can barter and trade.
I mean, Spencer is already coming with us, so I'm sure that's something we can do. Out of curiosity, and not to offend Spencer here, do you happen to know where his thing was?
She pulls
I knew it.
something out of her shirt
I
on a
knew it.
chain. You mean this?
Mhm.
The glittering red gem. And Spencer is like, oh God, it's so embarrassing. Ugh, God, can't believe I let myself get God. No, but I love you, mistress. I'm very mad. I'm very happy with you, mistress. Very happy.
God.
And she puts it back away. I don't like to show it off because it's embarrassing to Spencer.
That's okay, as long as you are the one that has it and nobody else. I figured that would be the case, but I just wanted to 100% double check to make sure that Spencer is, loyal to you and no one else.
Yes. Yes, you can trust Spencer. And with that, we actually will take our break.
Ooh, oh man, what a great first half. Okay, so again, thank you all so much for coming by. We hope you're enjoying the show. If you like what you see here, would like to talk about the campaign, you can join us at our Discord, which can be seen in chat below. We do have a section for spoilers as well as non-spoilers. Our VODs are normally placed there from YouTube, so you get access immediately once it's up to be able to see videos in higher audio and video quality. And normally you will see fan art there as well. And of course, as always, if you like us again, you like to contribute to the show, you could join us at our Patreon, which also it should be in chat. But just in case it is not, put it in chat below. And of course, you'll be able to see all the bonus episodes and also where the dragons first came from. So we'll be back relatively soon, and we'll see you for the second half for Lords of Faerun. Farewell for now. All right. And we are back for the second half for Lords of Faerun. So, with that said, Aliza, take it away.
We pick right back up where we were in Ymra's cavern, the innermost belly of her cavern. You all have been looking over this scroll that Jesse grabs from the dragon's lair. The scroll got wet during all of the commotion, and when Shireen's control weather spell started to melt the glacier, this scroll got damaged with the water, and so it's illegible. Ymra has no answers. Shireen has no answers. But Ymra says, well, I imagine that when you go north, you may encounter some spellcasters somewhere, and you can find someone who can clean this up for you and make it legible. Kay, your dwarven teenage friend, has been silent this whole time, just listening wide-eyed, because this is a world that she has never ventured to. Mm-hmm. She is a small town girl, and she is just, her eyes are wide with wonder. She's hung out with dragons and is now meeting all these storm giants. So Kay has kind of, upon hearing about, the plans to go up north, she steps forward and timidly says, I just wanted to say, it sounds fun, you all going on this adventure north, but I need to get back home. Sorry.
We won't do that to you. This is for us. For once we are done with our great plan of making you a hometown hero.
Okay, we still have the plan, right? We can still.
Okay,
You and I.
Okay,
we're still gonna drop you off. Don't worry about it. With the dragons and everything.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna point out that every time you refer to Kay as a teenage dwarf person, I have teenage dirtbag play in my head, but I'm just a teenage dwarf girl.
I love it.
Well, it sounds like we have what we are supposed to do next. Shall we begin?
Ymra says, well, good luck on all your adventures, and I suppose you'll be back here to fulfill your next contract with me. She looks over at you, Helena. Good.
Latrell looks and says, don't forget, I would like something as well.
Yes. As I said, if you want a magical item, that is more up my alley. But if you're looking for a beautiful, wonderful dagger like this one, I don't have things like that. What would you like instead?
Doesn't need a dagger. Just a weapon that kind of reminds me of home. Here.
I'll see what just so you can what?
Keep around with me for my travels, because when I leave here, I'm not really sure when I'll be able to return. And so be able to see this weapon made will, like I said, allow me to take some of this place with me.
Okay. I will take a look at my inventory and see what I find.
Thank you.
And with that, do you all leave the cavern now?
Yeah.
Okay. You all exit the way you came in. Standing outside the entrance of the cavern, Shireen, are you still uppies, Latreu?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Shireen says to you, so why don't you all just go to the village and then meet me back here when you're done? Does that sound good? I think I want to just take care of some stuff at home and show Eris around. So much has changed. And then Latreu, when you come back, we can go see Mom and our sisters.
Latreu nods. He says, that sounds nice. Stay safe.
All right. Okay.
He starts to climb back down. And he does. He kind of like hops off from like probably where the kneecap is off to the ground. Just go, big poof. And he says, okay. He looks up her. See you soon.
Okay. Stay safe, little brother.
He nods.
And Eris says, "Good tidings, and I will probably see you when you return as well."
Hopefully. I look forward to hearing more stories.
Is Spencer with us?
Yes, Spencer is
Sweet.
with you. Spencer and Kay are with you. And of course, your dragons.
Jackson, would you mind giving old Spencer a lift here?
Oh, Jackson says, "Oh, absolutely. I am only slightly smaller than Spencer, although Spencer looks kind of slender. So let's see how I do with this." And Spencer looks at Jackson and says, "Do I ride on him? I'm riding on that
if
one."
You want to, if Jackson wants to, it's just it's a request either way. It just might be faster.
Spencer pads his large feet over to, and by the way, Spencer has these long claws that he kind of keeps curled towards him, almost in this like, I'm safe to be around way that he's learned to behave around Yimra and in this part of the world. So he, like, with his hands curled, his claws curled inward towards him, he pads over to Jackson and says, do you mind if I try to see if, yeah. And Jackson says, yes, go ahead. And Jackson lowers his body down. Spencer gets up on top and Jackson flaps his wings and says, yes, this will work. But what you see, it still looks kind of funny because Spencer is a large-sized animal, a large-sized creature. But as Elliot noticed, and I think Helen also noticed, Spencer is not as muscular looking as Slod can tend to be. Spencer just looks more slender and a little bit almost wiry. So even though he's tall, it does not weigh as much as one might expect. So you see this like wiry little red slod, not little, large red slod on a young white dragon's body. And it just looks kind of funny. I hope there's some artists out there who can draw us a picture of that, because a red frog person riding a white dragon.
I think I can work with that.
Okay, thank you. But they alight, and do the rest of you all start flying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
On our flight, I would like to have a check-in with Leonid, if possible.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna kind of lean over while we fly and just. I don't know what I expect the answer to this to be, but are you all right with everything that happened?
Leonid takes in this question and says, it was pretty intense. And I mean, honestly, I didn't think retribution would feel as good as it did.
Okay, that's all right. I just truthfully realized that we intended to seek retribution for you, but we did not intend for it to be as violent as it was. The dwarves and that one hit of ice breath really complicated things right off the bat, but it's okay if you feel good about it. I just wanted to make sure we didn't do the wrong thing for you.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. I think the other dragons, some of them will probably want to live with the Hellfans and work some stuff out with them. I don't know. But then maybe we can find a place for the others. Maybe we can have our own territory, our own home base, and start over.
I think I think that's a fantastic idea. I would miss you. But
Well, I mean, you're always welcome to visit. And also, I haven't decided what I want to do. So,
okay. All right, good. Well, excellent. As long as you're all right, I feel much better. Thank you.
thanks. I appreciate your friendship.
I just give like a little scritch on the top of the head as we keep flying.
And you keep flying. And let's see how far this journey is. So Kay is riding on, who's Kay riding on or with?
With Treebush.
Okay. And Helena, are you using your flight boots?
Mhm.
Okay.
Just to fly next to, just to make sure Treebush isn't too waylaid or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
Treebush-
that word
Yeah,
wrong.
Treebush. No, I got you, what you mean. Treebush, looks to have no problems carrying Kay on their back. And Kay leads the way, points you towards Rosha, her village. So, Rosha, I'll tell you a little bit about Rosha, which is what Kay will have told you on the way there. Rosha is 30 miles north of a place called Del Halls, which, if you look on your map, is on the left side of the Vasa Valley, also west of the river Palaver, still don't know how to say that name. So 30 miles north of Del Hall, 1, 2, 3. So not far from where you were before when you camped out, but you just kind of went in the opposite direction. But now you're coming back to this area and it's kind of nestled at the foot of the mountain. There are some other locations in the lore of Faerun that are near here, but Rosha is a small town in Vasa. It is very secluded. Kay would have told you this small town of dwarves and orcs is very secluded. It's mostly just miners, and they don't even mine for like the precious metals that other dwarven mining colonies mine for. Like there's a famous diamond mine in the Vasa Valley by dwarves. There's other like precious metals that are mined for, but Rosha is just a small mining community that mines for like pretty standard materials to get by with. And they've been able to exist for generations on their own with very little outside influence. As aside from like the occasional visitor, they've had just generations of oral history about dragons, even though they don't really see dragons. From where they are, the dragons stay pretty hidden. But some ancestor back in the day passed down the story of seeing a dragon in the glacier. And since then, they've spun this whole big story in their head about how the person from Rosha who can go to and then it became the why don't we see if anyone can do it? And then it became, when you reach adulthood, you have to go and try to do it. So it just kind of over the years snowballed into this tradition of sending their young people on the crest. The
cusp.
Cusp. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Sending their young people who are on the cusp of their adulthood out for this kind of like ritual, traditional trip to the glacier and to try to find the dragons, to try to defeat the dragons. But of course, as Kay started to dawn on her earlier today, she realized that she didn't actually know what was the reward. Was there a reward? Because no one had ever succeeded in this. She didn't even know that part of the lore, if it existed. Like what was the purpose? And she's starting to doubt so many things like teenagers tend to do. You start to realize there are holes in what people are telling you about the world or about your religion or about your traditional belief. And you're like, wait, this is really weird. Why do we do this? So that's kind of where Kay is at right now. And she has been sharing all of this with you as you all have traveled both on the glacier and now in flight. Those of you who are nearby, Helena, you are hearing this, and Treebush. But you all are kind of up to speed on all of that. So it takes you, let's see, you're at Yimra's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, let's say 13. So that's 130 miles. It takes another few hours to get back over to this side of the Vasa Valley.
Would this be pushing back time now?
Yeah, I would say it's probably this far north. It actually doesn't get dark until maybe 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. So you are in late afternoon, like maybe 5 p.m. by the time you arrive. The sun is starting to sink down, but you have at least a few more, probably 4 more hours of sunlight in your day. And Kay points down there. That's where it is. There it is. Go. And Treebush kind of dives down with the rest of you, I'm guessing, following. And you all, go ahead.
I thought we were going to drop her off so that she can walk in.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So she points to the village before you arrive there.
Okay. So we probably have spent the couple of hours traveling, just making plans on how we're going to do this, the words that we're going to say. And then we drop possibly like just a few, just outskirts of the village so that Kay can hide for a bit. And then I look at the others and I'm like, oh, are you guys up to speed about what we're going to do now?
I think so. Does somebody want to hit me in the face or something so I can work up a tear or something? Oh no, Kay died. We wanted to bring back word.
I don't think you need to get hit in the face for that. I think you could just think sad thoughts.
It is so cast vicious mockery.
Vicious mockery. Your father is an elderberry.
Well, I do enjoy a good adventure and a good story. However, I think this will be quite amusing, so I will allow you all to spin your yarn, and I will eagerly see what you come up with.
Cost create water just to make fake tears.
Yeah. As I walk in, I will just kind of slump a little bit and put on a sad face.
I also give Treebush instructions. Basically, Treebush and Kay are gonna stay, and I want Kay's introduction of just flying in, swooping in with Treebush, and I give specific instructions to Treebush to make Kay look super cool. You're gonna be flying around, and Kay, you gotta hold on tight. Treebush is gonna make all these swirly things, okay?
Got it. Yep. And Treebush is like, oh yeah, let's do this.
You know how it is. So Helena is gonna be thinking of all the sad thoughts that she has or she doesn't have a lot of. She just is very shallow and unemotionally, detached from life. But she's gonna pretend to be really sad. So
Latrell is just looking. He's just like, I'll be in the back.
Jackson, I think it's just better if we walk in together, not flying. Maybe even Spencer, you can kind of just stay behind there, and maybe you don't need to say anything. I mean, you can if you want to, but we're trying to make it like Kay is a big hero, and she helped get us out of this glacier and stuff. But I don't know if you can look sad or if you just want to wait outside with Jackson. Otherwise, it's up to you.
This is my sad face.
That looks scared face. Let's just have you have your normal face.
This is my normal face.
I think that's better.
Okay.
It's different time. I thought I was doing the same face.
It's okay. It's just fine. Let's just have him in the back with Latre. They have the same sort of face anyway.
Okay.
I mean, not same face, but like aura of not being able to fake sadness.
Okay.
They can be in the background. It's fine.
Okay.
I think Elliot, you, and myself with Avis, we can pull off the sadness thing.
All right.
Okay.
We walk into the village, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go on in.
He just tried.
I stood on some sea anemones.
Out of Latrell looks towards Elliot and he just says, "Out of all the things I have done, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do."
It's a bit of theatrics, but it'll make her feel very good.
Think of it as camouflage, but like acting. Basically, that's what it is.
Think of it as acting, because that's what it is.
Just take out the camouflage. I don't even know why I said it, but think of it as that.
He just nods, knowing full well he has no idea what acting fully is because, again, he lives in a forest the entire but he just
you know how some bees or how some plants pretend to be bees so that bees will come? That's sort of acting. That is what you will be doing. Just so that you'll be pretending, basically.
I am a plant.
Instead of like I am angry and a plant, you'll be like I am sad and a plant or something. I don't know. You'll figure it out. It's fine.
Thank you.
This is cool way to work.
What was that, Avis?
He said, "This is going to be wonderful. I cannot wait."
It's gonna be a dumpster fire. It's straight up dumpster fire.
Latre, just keep saying I'm sad. That's all you need to do. Just keep saying. If anybody asks you questions, just say I am sad. That's it, and you'll be fine.
Jesse says, "I sure somebody doesn't want to like stab me in the hand quickly so I can fake crying." I mean, like, never mind. I think we're almost there.
I have a question as the DM. Was that vicious mockery actually cast?
No, I did not.
Take that D6 of damage.
Please take that damage.
Oh man.
Okay.
So we
All
should
right.
be in the village now, I guess.
Yep. So you are walking into the village. You started to pass by some homes. You see dwarves and orcs, and the village, as you pass into it, it gets more and more dense with homes. And the people look at you. Some people just outright stare at you, just kind of letting the sight of not only strangers, but just this motley crew of all different types of non-dwarves and non-orcs, people, the types of people they're not used to seeing here. They just stare as you walk past. Some of them hide. Probably the children like see you and hide from you. Have any dragons come in with you, or are they all waiting at the entrance?
I know that Leonid would wait at the entrance.
Okay, I think Jackson was, Snowroot, and Yuki as well.
Most likely, if the others had stayed back, he would try to follow suit because he's now an actor. So,
It's gonna be so hilarious. Latre will be like, I am an actor. I said I am sad.
Yes, I am sad.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it's just the humanoids walking in.
Mm-hmm.
And you finally get to this, what looks like the center of the village. Before you, a young dwarf had run ahead, obviously going to tell someone what's happening. And so when you arrive at the town square, you see like a well in the middle. You see different like stands and vendors. You see lots of mining carts filled with like coal and like the raw materials that they've been mining. You see the mine further like into the side of the mountain range. And this town just spread before you. some villagers come up and watch you, and they start to like stand in a very loose circle around you. And a very commanding looking dwarf and orc step out of the crowd and towards you. And you see that they're wearing like special sashes as well. They step forward, and the dwarf says, "Hello? To what do we owe this visit?"
I am a plant.
I am very sorry. We have come because we ran into the young dwarves you sent to the ice caves to defeat the dragon.
You're very sad.
It gives me no pleasure to let you know that a young dwarf was frozen and a dragon, as we ran, she saved us by allowing us extra time to leave as the dragon released its icy breath upon her.
He was so brave.
She was very brave. I believe her name was Kay.
And you hear, when you say the name, a gasp kind of ripples throughout the crowd as they all recognize exactly who you're talking about. And then you see some familiar faces step out of the crowd. You see Rollins, Pilka, Leor, and Stoof step out from the crowd and say, "Oh, she didn't make it. Oh no."
I apologize.
Very brave.
Many of you ran, and I don't fault you for that.
It was a very dangerous time.
Kay was very brave and remained to ensure our safety.
And it wasn't just because she was frozen.
No, it was because she was strong.
Oh. And you hear like some sobs and weeping in the crowd, and people patting each other on the back and saying, "Oh, it's okay. She was brave. It's okay."
I give my whistle that signals to Treebush, but it's a normal whistle that Treebush knows. But I cover it by like pretending to cry, and like in my sobbing, I give like this really weird whistle. I can't whistle, but it's basically
She whistles when she said.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna need 2 rolls from. I need a roll. Actually, I was gonna have Elliot roll. I was thinking performance with just the opening,
Sure.
Yeah. And now also I want Helena to roll for this weird whistle sob.
Whistle? Yeah, exactly.
Sob whistle.
Can Jason like pat her on the shoulder and
Okay.
say, it's okay, Helena. She was so brave. She was so brave while she was crying.
That is
Absolutely.
a 21.
How do you want me to roll? Deception?
Yeah. No, wait, hold on. Let me think for a
Because
second.
if it's deception, I got +11.
I know.
We can do performance if you want. Just make it a little bit harder for me.
But
Because my performance is 3.
Well, what I'm having you roll for is to see if you can cover this.
This whistle.
So it is deception, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and roll deception.
So it's a 18.
Okay. So yes, backed up by Elliot's very somber, presentation of this information to the town. Helena and also Jesse, you help out with just like really playing up the patting on the back. You let out this like whistle sob that kind of like takes everyone by surprise, but they're still in it. They're still with you because you covered up that it was a whistle to Treebush. And on cue, you start to hear flapping in the distance. Powerful flapping of a dragon's wings, which that's the sound, but the rest of the town looks up looking for where the sound comes in. You hear murmurs. What is going on? And swooping out from the distance, you see the twists and turns of Treebush really hamming it up in the sky, just like making curlicues and twirls and all the types of things. And the town is just completely aghast. Oh, a dragon! Oh my God! They're going to start to run away, unless you all want to.
What are we gonna do?
Oh my God! Dragons are real. What? Oh my God! I thought I was lore. They're going to start running around.
Dragons, those are our friends. We like dragons.
Oh wait, no. I start pointing. Oh wait, is it that K over there?
Go ahead and roll, both of you again, roll persuasion to see if you can get cut through the madness that's about to ensue.
I am sad.
I got 24.
Okay. And Elliot.
Oh wait, is K
18.
Okay. So yeah, you both are able to kind of, they call out to the crowd and have them hear you. Wait, friends, what? And then Helena's, isn't that K? People look up, and sure enough, on the back of this flipping and flopping around white dragon, they see the young dwarf K, and they are again taken aback. What is? Oh my God! It's a miracle! Oh, thank the gods!
A miracle!
K and Treebush
This day
come down to the ground softly, gently, but powerfully, like very cool superhero dragon landing. And
Helena whispers to Latrell, "You don't say I'm sad now. You say I am happy. Okay, change of stuff now.
Okay.
All right, go."
I'm happy.
So Kay gets
He gotta
down.
do like the thumbs up, look at that like. Okay.
Kay gets down from the back of the dragon and steps forward. It is I, Kay. I have returned from the dragon's lair, and here is my proof. And she holds up the gold coin. The crowd just gushes like, oh my God, it's a miracle. What is happening? The two leaders who step forward with the sashes, they are also shocked, but they whisper to each other. And you all would notice this. I won't have you roll perception, but you see a sense of concern on their faces as they kind of confer with each other and look at how excited everyone is and look at Kay and just like, oh my God. And Kay steps away from the dragon and says, I survived and I was a hero. Did they tell you I was a hero? Did they tell you?
Dead.
Yes, you thought I was dead because I told you, go ahead, but I'm not dead. I'm alive.
She was very brave. Very, very brave. I'm very happy that she's alive.
I am happy.
And we are alive because of her.
And the crowd just is like, oh my goodness, like clapping and hugging each other. Kay's family steps up and hugs her. And also the teenage friends step up and all like, they just bear hug each other and they're jumping up and down. It is just like an excited, just joyful moment for everyone. And so the two leaders once again step forward and address the crowd. The dwarf says, attention. Attention. What was that?
I would like to cast Zone of Truth
at their feet. You said, okay. Attention. Zone of Truth is cast. Do they notice it? Is it something like they would see?
It's verbal and semantic components, but so I would prefer to try to cast it stealthily, but it's up to you.
Go ahead and just roll a stealth just to see, if they notice that you cast it. It will still be successfully cast, but
an 11 for stealth.
Okay. Let's say that Yeah, that you are able to stealthily cast it. Although this leader starts to speak and does know that something is up, but it's too late to do anything about it. She says, here's the truth of what is happening. Kay has returned. And first of all, we didn't know dragons really still existed. And also we didn't expect anyone ever to be able to do this. And we don't have a plan. We don't know what this means for our village. We just thought this was a test of strength and resolve for our youngsters, and they would come back having gone out into the world and bring that strength and confidence back to our village. And the other leader says, I think Kay might be a god. And then a whisper goes through the villagers like, oh my God, wait, is she a god? How else could she have done this? Only a god could have done something like that. And Kay is like proud and excited, but also, what? How do I deal with this?
I create a minor illusion.
Oh my God.
A minor illusion. Or like from somewhere in the background, somebody goes, she should be mayor.
Okay. So it's
It's like a minor illusion, but with sound where somebody doesn't know where it's coming from. And it says, she should be mayor.
Okay. Yes, she should be our ruler. She should be our leader forever, like forever and ever. And the two mayors with the sashes, they say, oh, I don't like that at all, because they're still in the zone of truth. One of the dwarf says, I hate that idea. That's a terrible idea. What are you talking about? What does this mean for us? But Kay steps forward and says, I will lead you if that's what you want, because I am very brave and I did this thing. I did it.
And
so
I think Kay also can testify to how deadly dragons are, can't you, Kay? And how nobody should go poking around the glacier ever.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, that is absolutely true. I, as your leader, maybe, if you all decide to, I will say that I know now that dragons are very dangerous, and I want to end this tradition of sending our youth to the glacier because it is actually very dangerous. And now we know that. And everyone in the people in the crowd are like, here, here. Yes, it's a stupid tradition. Anyway, why do we keep doing it? I wanted to go next year. Well, just like kind of mutters all over the town. And the two leaders still in their zone of truth. Clofin is the orc. An orc. Sorry. Clofin says, honestly, I'm tired of leading this town. It would be nice to have someone else take over. What do you say, Mornot? And Mornot, the dwarf, says, I don't like this, okay? But clearly I'm getting overruled, so fine. Kay is the new mayor. And everyone says, yay!
I am happy.
Well, we were just passing through.
We're gonna go now.
Yeah. Okay. Your mayoralness. It was lovely to have met you, and I'm glad you're not dead.
Thank you for
I am
saving
so impressed by your power in our lives. Our lives are forever changed by you, Kay, the teenage dwarf.
Jesse will hold out for a hug. You know, I'll look for consent first. And then if she agrees, he'll give her a big old hug and kind of like whisper in her ear, maybe make sure you ask them how things run around here before you take office, you know, because you might need to learn a thing or two about actually running the village, but I'm sure you'll do fine.
Okay. After you release Kay from this hug, Mornot and Clofin take off, they approach taking off their sashes. Does the zone of truth, is that cast on an area or on the people specifically? Does it move with them? The area?
15
Okay.
feet from where they were standing. It's
Okay,
just
so they're going to step out of the zone of truth towards Kay, and they are going to both put their sashes. So now she is wearing double sashes that are crossed across her torso, and they lift Kay up on their shoulders. Well, the orc does. The orc lifts Kay up on their shoulders and says, "All hail Kay, the god mayor of Rosha! All hail Kay, the god mayor of Rosha! All hail Kay, the god mayor of Rosha!" And this chant continues.
Helena joins the chant. All hail Kay, the god mayor of Rosha!
This
Yeah.
is going to be fine. We won't come back here in a few years and find that it's descended into a totalitarian
This is gonna be fine.
God
I'm sure
Emperor state. This is going to be
Teenage
fine.
leaders are fine.
No, I
We
think
all
we
know.
can leave this situation and it's going to work out great.
Listen, wasn't Tutankhamun a teenage king or
Exactly.
something?
They'll be fine. They won't attack her because she thinks they think she can control dragons, so it'll be fine.
Yep, she's a new Rufio. She's a
Yes,
she's a
a
new Rufio.
teenager in charge and no one can question her. We're doing great things.
no longer.
I can give this village like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
With that, let's say that they do a little impromptu parade around the village, and then you all are just standing by witnessing all this happen. A couple of villagers come up to you, as well as Mornot and Clofin, the former mayors, and another dwarf says, "Won't you join us for a celebratory feast? Won't you stay for the night? You have brought back our god mayor."
Sure.
Maybe
We could
don't
stay.
go around calling Kay God.
Why not? Clearly,
Well-
she's been chosen by the gods. She is one of them.
Chosen is different. What? Jason's gonna pop out his wigs. See, chosen by a god does not make you a god. And then he'll put his wings back. It's like, so, they can be kind of testy if you go around throwing around the word God. So don't bring any bad juju on your village, is all I'm saying. Chosen. Maybe call her chosen.
Chosen mayor.
The few of them look at you. Okay. And then they look to the rest of the town, still chanting, "All hail Kay, the god mayor of Rosha." And they look back at you and say, "Well, it's going to be hard to convince people otherwise. So
It's more of a title than
That can easily be passed
Anything.
on. It's fine.
sure.
okay,
It'll be fine.
yeah." Mornot says, "I'm sure it'll be fine. Yes."
Jesse just
All hail Kay.
says to himself under his breath in Celestial to the Great Mother, I tried. I mean, nobody could say I didn't try.
So
Helena speaks to Treebush in Draconic, hoping that the others in the village don't understand, and I just tell him, you could probably go with your siblings. Just hang back for a bit and go.
all right, yeah, okay.
Thanks.
We'll
You're the
probably go
best.
hunting and chill out over there. We'll catch up with you after you leave this weird town. And Treebush takes off through the trees into the sky. So, cutting forward, later that evening, torches are lit. This beautiful outside festival basically has popped up by the villagers. They've even managed to take the mayor's chairs, and they took one of the chairs and just adorned it with all of these leaves and what little precious metals they do happen to have in the town. They've made this beautiful throne for Kay and set it in this by the well in the center of town. Put torches around it. There's food, there's drink, there's merriment. And Kay sits in her throne drinking with her buddies standing around her can you believe that this is pretty wild. And so what do you all do in the last few moments of our session? How do you spend this time in the festival, the Rosha festival?
Jesse is probably drinking, and he might look for a handsome orc gentleman to spend the evening dancing with, and maybe sharing some cups.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Helena is gonna be drinking with Kay and the group, and just being like giving her ideas about like counsel, who should she choose among her friends.
Hopefully
And they'll be
telling
drinking,
her that
we'll-
like a democracy might be a good idea.
Yeah, you are a god mayor, but it is a title that you will be passing on by voting. It'll be different, but you will have a council. Basically, all of this will be done while drinking. And Kay's like, you are the lady with the dragon. Hopefully, I will listen to you specifically. So that is what Helena is going to be doing.
Ice is probably saying to them, like, now, if you need to poison somebody who is against you, what you need?
Oh my God.
That's basically Ice and Helena doing all of these things. So assassination is not normally acceptable, but if the need arises, there are certain poisons that you can use. And bombs and all that. Traceable, not tracing back to you, but only for like emergency purposes. Never for like, be a democratic little town, not totalitarian. You may be the title of the god mayor, but you're not actually the god. Do you understand? You understand this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like a god. When they said I was a god, I was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I am, but I guess I'm the mayor. I'm the god mayor, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very confused, to be honest. A little terrified.
You'll be fine. You survived dragons. You're okay.
Yeah.
I want to spend the night with Latreia, if that's okay. I want us to, at this festival, learn like all of the locals' games and like try to learn them and then compete. Latreia and I like just trying to like learn whatever their local competitions or games are and then go at it 1v1 with them as much as possible.
Oh, nice. One of the games that you partake in is this is a mining town, bunch of miners. And so it's kind of like a pin the tail on the donkey, but for miners, I guess. So you go to a tree, and actually this is Stoof who's telling me this. Okay, this is how you play it. We find a tree, and it has to be a good, like sturdy one, and we take our pickaxes and then we blindfold each other and you spin around and then you have to like get your pickaxe into the tree. That's one of our top games in this town.
Oh my God. All right. Latreia, you will have a slight advantage because I've been drinking and that requires a lot of equilibrium.
Latreia looks for a second and he says, wait, just one moment. He's standing next to the tree and then he puts his arms out like the branches. He says, I'm a plant. Okay. I think I understand acting. Okay, let's go. And then he puts it. He puts on the blindfold. He's ready to go.
Okay. Great.
Okay. And Avis, what are you doing for this evening at the festival?
For a little while, I guess we'll enjoy the festivities. But at some point, he will slowly disappear and make his way back and spend the evening resting with Yuki and presumably the other dragons.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, you hike your way back out of the village and find where the dragons are camping, and spend the rest of the night with them. Okay. And I think that covers all of you. And the night you spend in Rosha, the village of the God Mayor. And with that, we will end our session today.
What? I I
I'm
know.
so proud of myself.
No,
I know.
it's great.
Such a good.
We
day.
kickstarted global warming
Warming,
and
yeah.
the downfall of democracy
Yeah,
in one day.
Yes. I know I say this at the end of every session, but like every single session has been incredible. Once again, Eliza, you have done absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to the cast. I was rolling for a solid 25 minutes. So once again, thank you all for joining us. We definitely appreciate it. If you like what you see here and you like to talk about the campaign, you can join us at our Discord, which is placed in the chat below. We actually have a section for spoilers as well for non-spoilers, fan art, and of course we release our VODs, so they're normally placed there first, so you'll be able to see our videos in higher video and all audio quality. Thank you all so much for all the follows that we received. I think we received over like 10 follows in this past session. So I was like, thank you all so much for enjoying this session. We definitely appreciate it, and we are definitely excited to show you what we have in store for next week's. And we're going to go ahead and shoot our after show to talk about and explore about this session. And if you'd like to see this after show, you can join us at our Patreon, which will also be in chat below. For there, you'll be able to gain access to the Patreon, which gets you access to bonus episodes, of course, after shows, so forth and so on. And we look forward to having you in. And all of your funds go straight into this absolutely wonderful cast. I cannot say there's not much more I can say about this cast besides the fact that they're just perfect. Chef's kiss. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and raid someone and go ahead and transfer the love to someone else. So once again, thank you all so much. And we look forward to see you all next week for Lords of Faerun episode 9. See you soon.